Check 1, 2. Big Micah full of phys ed coming at you live and direct from MacCity.com and PowerandStrategy.com. Yeah, I got my partner, man, my player partner, nigga, Fucius, Tony Maceo, Magneto, Zatoichi. We in the game, boy. We doing it real big for 2018. And once again, the gift that keeps on giving, Dr. Umar. We have to do this show. I hate to keep doing it, because it looked like we just piggybacking off this dude notoriety or whatever. But this is some serious, it's a serious lesson that we got to go ahead and learn, man. As far as the cult of personality and the court system.
Keep it real. You just want your butter biscuit.
My butter biscuit. I got my syrup and my orange juice. You feel me? Cooning hard for 2018, tearing a brother down.
Hey, pocket watching.
I'm pocket watching.
You boot-licking ass nigga.
Hey, man, I'm really fascinated with this shit, man, because, my expertise, man, lies in criminology, psychology, Umar Johnson style, you know what I'm saying? I know shady activity when I see it, right? But my scope of expertise is not in academia, or with what's it called, degrees and certifications and licenses. That pretty much a person that can really speak on that more so would be my partner Fuchsius here, man. You know what I mean? He's been active in college and doing courses, and he's well adept at the courts and whatnot, man. So I want to go ahead and I want to ask you, right, because you the man that can actually speak on this, man. You seen what happened with Umar's so-called hearing, and I just wanted to get your opinion on what happened. You know what I mean? Do they have a leg to stand on? Do these Umarites, do they have a reason to, be all happy and just full of glee that he so-called beat the charge or whatever? I mean, tell me what's going on in your mind's eye.
He ain't beat shit. He right where he was at the beginning. And if you listen to the video, he tells you where he is. Look, man, and I saw that video that the one nigga did for Rod, whatever his name was, and he said they kept addressing him as Dr. Johnson. Well, look, you can be a doctor and still not be licensed to practice.
Right.
What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? How does that work? You could become a doctor by getting a PhD.
Okay.
Technically, you're a doctor when you get a PhD, but you still have to be state certified to practice.
Okay.
That means passing some type of statewide examination. That means a background check. That means all the administrative procedures that are necessary before they grant you a license to practice. So the fact that he's a doctor doesn't necessarily mean he can practice.
Okay.
Now, what he has, and Tariq said this, and I think he's correct in this aspect, he has the equivalent of a driver's permit. Mm-hmm. They do the same thing in the legal community. They will actually let law students practice law. I've done this before. That's how I can tell you I did it before. They will let you practice law in law school, but you have to do it under the supervision of a state licensed professional. And that's what he has. He can practice, but he can practice under the supervision of a state licensed professional.
Right.
Okay? So now what happened when he went to court on the 8th? When he went to court on the 8th, that was an administrative hearing. Right. That's what it was. He was saying an administrative hearing to take his license. That was the first part of the hearing. The administrative hearing was conducted by the magistrate to determine the facts of whether he was practicing or whether he was holding himself out as a state licensed doctor, clinical doctor, okay?
Right.
What people don't understand is this. With these professional license come an enhanced duty and enhanced responsibility, and you are easily vulnerable to having a professional license taken away from you. Uh-huh. They have something called the appearance of impropriety.
Right.
The appearance of impropriety means you look like you're doing something wrong. You don't actually have to do something wrong. You have to give the image that you are doing something wrong. And if you give the image that you are doing something wrong, as far as they're concerned, you're doing something something wrong. So what they presented at his hearing was, in essence, those 3 interviews he did on the Breakfast Club and some things off his website where he said that he was a licensed, but he said he was a clinical psychologist. In other words, he was making claim to a certification he had not yet achieved.
Right.
Now, is it weak as fuck? Absolutely. Does it mean he still can't get got? No. I see people get their licenses taken. I seen niggas go to jail every day on hearsay.
Right.
Niggas go to jail every day on hearsay, procedural error, bad rulings with respect to the admission of certain evidence. The prisons are literally littered. The prisons are literally littered with people that are in jail because of a bad damn ruling, or they're in jail because they couldn't get this one piece of evidence in, or they're in because of bad eyewitness testimony, because not all eyewitness testimony is good or even credible. You got some people in prison on some very, very flimsy shit. You got some people that have had their licenses taken on some very, very flimsy shit. So they don't have to have a smoking gun to snatch this nigga's license. That's why he said when he came out of court, he said this was just the hearing. The magistrate, which was the lady on the bench that threatened to throw them niggas out of jail if they didn't throw them niggas out of court if they didn't calm down. You remember that?
Yeah,
like,
man.
If you don't, can't act civilized, can't control yourself, I will excuse you. That was the magistrate. The magistrate is there to make findings of fact. All that was the hearing. It was a big-ass deposition. And I know the difference between a deposition and a hearing. I'm comparing it because it was something to determine what the facts of the charges were. And if the magistrate finds out, or if the magistrate rules that the facts are as they have been presented, that he is in fact holding himself out as a licensed psychologist when he is not, she will make that recommendation and then present it to the board. And then the board of psychology. She will present her recommendation to the board. At that time, if the board follows the recommendation, that's his ass. If the board does not follow that recommendation, he gets to keep.
Oh, shit, nigga. Come on, Fuchsius. Fuck. Hello?
These bastards gonna make me buy an iPhone.
God damn, man. Nigga shit.
Anyway.
You wait. You dropped off when you said if they decide against him, that's his ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they rule against him, that's his ass, okay?
Right.
Now, he will have the option to appeal the decision, because you can appeal any final order or judgment.
Right.
But it's an uphill battle because it would cost him thousands of dollars. Well, I know where he would get it from. He sure got thousands of dollars. But anyway, if they rule against him, he would be able to appeal the ruling. But it would cost him so much money, it's ridiculous.
Man.
So at this point, if they do not rule against him, if they rule in his favor, of course he keeps skating. But they're going to be watching it.
Right.
Of course they're going to be watching it. So at this point, he's back where he's always been. He's still hanging by a thread. So that wasn't no great victory. And he had them niggas at the wrong meeting. Them niggas don't have no influence over the board of psychology. Those ain't the people you're supposed to be protesting in front of.
Okay.
People that you want to protest in front of are the people that's going to make the decision. None of those people in that court are going to make any decision where he's concerned.
Right.
But again, niggas love nigga victory. They love nigga victories and symbolic struggles to the point where they make up victories where none even exist.
This is what I want to know, man. Since it was such a piss poor job of prosecuting or fact finding, I'm like, damn, this is horrible. This is just horrible. I mean, I know YouTubers I would have put together a much better case, 10 times better case than that dude, whoever the hell he was. But what I want to know, since he has a license to practice under the supervision of a school or another so-called legit psychologist, right?
Right.
Okay, now who is this person he's practicing under, and what is the school? What is the name of the school in which he's so-called being employed by that gives him the right to actually practice? I'm not hearing any of that.
I don't even think that was answered at the hearing. I don't even think that was asked at the hearing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, if anybody out there, if you know the answer, go ahead, scribble it in the comment section. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be ignorant of this. I want to know, maybe I missed it somewhere. Who is this person he practices under? And what's the name of this school that he's practicing under, which so-called gives him the green light to do this practicing and this therapy with the children? Is that so hard? Is that so hard to find out?
Well, it would be, because most of that stuff is actually public record. That's not difficult to find out.
Okay.
Any job or any position where you're licensed by the state, or any profession where you have to get a state license, that information is normally public. You can usually get that with a damn FOIA request. And I think it's like a dime to get it. It's like 10 cents to get it. So it can be ascertained. But the problem is, again, is the case is weak. It's in his defense, he was right. It's a weak-ass case.
Right.
But I will say, you don't have to have a smoking gun to get a adverse judgment against you. You don't. You don't have to have a compelling case in order to get a judgment rendered against you. Again, I've seen this numerous times. I've seen it 1,000 times, where prosecutors, whether it be in a criminal or whether it be in a civil case, where there's very little evidence, the shit is weak, it's suspect, and they still come back with a negative ruling, or they come back with an adverse ruling. So you don't have to have a smoking gun here. You don't have to have a dead body. All you have to have is the appearance of impropriety. It's extremely subjective. That's why when he walked out the door, when he was giving his little speech on the steps of the courthouse, out in front of the courthouse, he said that this wasn't a hearing. He told you it wasn't anything to determine a decision. That it goes to the magistrate, that she makes a recommendation and is submitted to the board. And then he said these words: "The board hates my guts."
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the board are the people, those are the people that will actually render the decision, not the magistrate.
Right. This is what I want to go ahead and add, man, because after this hearing was done and he came out and he proclaimed his victory, of course, you had a lot of people who are like in Umar's back pocket coming out. "See, we told you," and everybody that's on YouTube, y'all need to apologize to Umar. Y'all need to retract them videos or take them videos down. Number one, this is what me and Tony got to say to y'all. Look, you can go back and you can see us on record saying that we don't really give two shits about the so-called credential argument. That is not really... we don't really give a shit, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've done foster care. I've worked with children's services for like 10 years. I worked in a prison for 10 years. I know that the school to prison pipeline is real. I know that everything that they do with the medications, what they do, how they try and just force feed young black boys that shit. It's just horrible shit, man. They was trying to, make me... drug my boys, man, and I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna take these boys down this basement, and I'm gonna knock sparks out their ass. That's what I'm gonna do. They take my license, my foster care license, man. So everything that he's spitting, man, I mean, I'm in a 90% agreement of what Umar is saying, man. We do not have any sort of problem with what he's saying, his credentials. We don't give a shit about that. Me and my partner, we just went through some court shit, man, filed in pro se, and we didn't use a licensed lawyer to do it. You know what I'm saying? So we don't give two shits about the license of this or the license of that. All right, so we ain't taking shit down. And guess what, man? We just want to light a fire under this cat, man, and let him know people are watching. And just in case you took your eye off the ball, your eye off the prize, do what you said you was going to do. That's it. That's all we want. We don't want to see him take a dirt nap. We don't want to see him locked up. We don't want to see him fined or whatever. We want to just see him do the right thing. And I think that he, somewhere along the line, man, I think he's slipping, and I think he think that people just, I think he think they stupid, man. He gonna go ahead and just start fleecing folks, man. I think he, I don't know, what you think about that, man? People,
again, it's called holding them accountable.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do with people. You're supposed to hold them accountable. But what I think is he's just in over his head.
Right.
And see, the mind plays funny tricks on people. Mm-hmm. What happens is that when people are under pressure, they either rise to the occasion or they crease.
Right.
One or the other.
Okay.
And when people are overcome, it's a very human thing. When people are overcome, they either rise to the occasion or they succumb to their vices. Mm-hmm. It's the normal thing that happens when people are put under pressure. And I think what he did was he got out there and he didn't, cover himself sufficiently. Excuse me. I don't care about it. Again, like you said, I agree with you. I don't give two shits about his life, man. Right. I don't care about that, because if he can help someone, given the information that he had, that he possesses, if he can help someone, then he should be able to help someone.
Right.
And I don't think that a lot of times it's good to have some type of pedigree. It's good for people to have some type of qualification, because it shows that the information that they're disseminating is credible. I get all that, no problem. But what I'm saying is, you don't necessarily have to be licensed to the nth degree to help someone.
Right.
To give someone the benefit of your experience. To share with someone the benefit of your knowledge if you know how the system works. You don't have to be licensed to do that, but you have to be licensed if you're going to collect money to do it.
Okay.
You see,
right.
And that's where his problem is. His problem is that if you're holding yourself to this standard, or you're identifying yourself as a state professional without the qualifications, and you're collecting money by identifying yourself as a state professional, it's a problem.
Right.
And that's where his whole case is. That's what his whole case is about. So I think, again, it's pressure. He's going through pressure, and it seems like to me he's starting to crease.
Mm. And check this out. I work for the state of Ohio, State of Corrections, man. Department of Corrections for 10 years. And I know that we had something called, conduct. If you got caught in something that, how you was talking about, the impropriety thing, we had things.
Yep.
Yeah, if you was doing something messed up outside the job, they could bring you up on conduct unbecoming an officer.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. And so this what just kind of makes me look at him sideways is I'm thinking, you really think that you're going to, kick a school off, you know what I mean, with all this nigga shit you've been doing for the past 3 years, you know what I mean? I mean, don't you have to, go in front of a board and whatnot and get some sort of approval from folks, man? I actually open up a school, because I know when I started doing the porn game, I couldn't let my employers know, the state know, that what I was doing. While I was still employed by the state, I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So him going around here, cracker this, whitey that, we gonna, shoot the cops in the head. He's saying all kind of buck wild crazy shit. And I'm like, how are you gonna even fix your mouth to say you want to open up a school? And I would think that you have to go before a board or some superiors or whatever. Since I don't know, can you straighten that out? I don't know.
I can. And let me go back, because there was a question. There was a statement addressed in our comment section by our old buddy Vector.
My man Vector in the house.
And he said, well, that wasn't his dream. So let's go back to the beginning and address what his dream was. Okay. Let's make sure we cover that, because initially, here's what he said he was going to do.
All right.
He said he wanted to open a school in a rural area.
Okay.
But he wanted that school to have a dormitory, because he wanted the kids to come and stay there. Uh-huh. In other words, he didn't didn't want them to go back to their parents. They were going to live at this school.
Yeah.
So he wanted dormitory mothers and dorm parents and all those things at this school. That was his original vision.
All right.
His original vision was that they were to stay at that school and they were to be educated at that school until, I guess, they reached adulthood, apparently.
Right.
Now, that couldn't happen because he didn't get St. Paul's in, I think it was North Carolina, because he was asking for $2 million by a certain time so that he could put down on and buy the school.
Right.
So what happened was he didn't get the money so he can put down on the college campus. So then he started talking about getting a school in Africa. Okay?
Right.
Here's why. If you set up a school, you have to make sure that the curriculum is approved by whatever state authority that the school, that you're going to have to make sure that it has to be approved by the state authority where the school resides.
Okay.
The jurisdiction where the school is. In other words, if he set up that school in South Carolina, that means the state has to approve the curriculum, and the county, the municipality, the local and state government have to approve the curriculum that he's teaching the children. He has to go before them and get that curriculum approved in order for those courses to be recognized and for those kids to even be deemed educated. That's purely administrative.
Okay.
You with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. He couldn't get that. He didn't even lay out how he was going to do that. That was never explained to people. He just said, give him this money so he could buy that school. He never explained how that school was going to be accredited. But he did say that it was going to be a charter school. He wanted as little to do with the state as possible. Do you know why? Because he knew that the state probably wasn't going to give him the proper credentials, or that they would not recognize his curriculum as one that is standard in terms of educating children.
Okay.
That's why he kept talking about all this private stuff. Private. That's why he kept talking about he wasn't for the teachers union. He wasn't interested in the teachers union. And that right there raised my antennas, because I believe in you. I do. You have to have a check against the abuses of the private sector. So when he started talking about he was against the teachers union because they weren't doing nothing but being lazy, they weren't teaching anything, they weren't doing anything but being lazy, when he started talking all that, that's when my antennas went up, because it's like, this is how you're going to get your certification. This is how you're going to get your curriculum recognized by the local and state government administrative authorities. Those are the people that are going to certify your curriculum. So if everything is private, who the hell is going to recognize what you're teaching these children?
Okay.
Where are you going to file their school transcripts? Where are you going to file these kids' school transcripts? What are you going to do with their transcripts? How will they be able to show, if they go get a job somewhere? It's like going to get a job somewhere and somebody asks you, do you have a diploma, right?
Right.
Do you have your high school diploma?
Yeah.
And you pull out a diploma of a school that's not even credited. Even though you sat in that school for 4 years and went through that curriculum, as far as that employer is concerned, you don't have a high school diploma.
Okay.
You see? And then that's when he started talking about, well, I'm going to Africa. I want to set up a school in Africa. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let me see if I got this right. You haven't raised $2 million for the school, but you want to raise enough money to take all these kids overseas. How are they supposed to get there? Where is the funds going to go? And how will the citizenship work in terms of getting these kids from one place? I guess they were going to do dual citizenship. I don't know how the fuck they were going to do it, but it made no sense to me.
Okay.
So to answer your question, yes, you do have to qualifies and that it will be recognized as material that can be used to show that these kids receive some type of basic education. But according to him, and it didn't make any sense. You wanted a charter school, so it's a private school, but even a private school has to have its curriculum recognized by the state. And that's when he started talking about all this. He was going to teach them how to, invest in stock, and he was going to teach them about finance, and he was going to teach them all this stuff. And I'm like, that's wonderful. I think children should learn that. I think children should learn about money at the earliest age possible. But the question is that if you're not going to accept any state money, you want all the money to come from poor parents in the poor sectors of Black America. You want them to pay for that. But then again, how are you going to get your curriculum accepted by the state? They damn sure ain't going to accept it if you sitting up there calling them crackers.
See, that's the thing about what's going on, man. It's almost as if he's deliberately trying to agitate these people so when he don't get to school, he can tell all his followers, see, look, them crackers won't let me get to school. When all the while he's deliberately agitating these people because I think he don't have the money, so the best way to come out of this looking good is to come out looking like a martyr, and that best way to do that is to agitate the white folks so much that they start throwing stumbling blocks, you know what I mean, every step of the way, so he can blame Whitey. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it will still be collective money. But let's make sure we got it. And I agree with you, but let's make sure we got it straight.
Okay.
His original vision was a domestic school with a domestic campus where the kids can live in. He can't get that off.
Okay.
So then he started talking about Africa. Now, that's a place where they might recognize his curriculum. It's in Africa, but then what are the logistics of that situation? How does that work? How do you take a campus full of kids over to another country and, educate them there? How does that work? So that wasn't sufficiently explained for him to say how he was going to get that off. So now we're here in the States. If you can't get the college campus you want, you can't take the kids to Africa because the logistics haven't even been explained, much less worked out. They haven't even been stated, much less explained or worked out. So now, how you going to get this curriculum recognized if you got to go to the white man and ask the white man to recognize your curriculum? Because even if you set up a charter school, they're still going to have to approve that curriculum. Otherwise, you're taking people's money for nothing. What you're doing is you're giving these kids an education that they could probably use in the real world if they set up businesses, but they're going to have to go at some point and get a bank loan. And if they have to, their credentials are always going to have to be something that is going to be a necessity. They're going to need some type of credentials. So under his curriculum, he will teach them the functional things, but nobody will recognize.
Right.
Nobody. Okay, you taught these kids how to balance a checkbook. You taught these kids this. They're not going to magically just jump out of school and open businesses. Stuff like that takes time. Stuff like that takes patience. It takes networking. It takes them, hooking up with other black people or other people with resources and other funds. It takes time to build anything credible. Anything credible, it takes time to build. Well, during that time when you're building something, you have to let the people who you're working with know that you're qualified to build something. And if the people who you're going to build something with don't recognize your qualifications or don't recognize your educational standard, I ain't gonna build shit with you. You could be a master mechanic, but if you got your shit from Bob's bootleg mechanic shop, nah, I ain't doing no business with you.
Right.
You can probably change a battery or a tire, but I ain't gonna trust my transmission to your ass.
Yeah, that was a thing that, I see people don't seem to understand. It's like, there's a lot of people saying, well, black folks ain't shit because black folks won't give to them. They won't get no substantial donations or whatever. And I'm like, Well, I mean, if he was more transparent and if he had a legitimate business plan to show folks, the so-called higher echelon movers and shakers in society, i.e. entertainers or politicians or whatever, maybe a lot of people would, throw in some real money. You know what I mean? But he won't be transparent. He don't have no legitimate business plan. It's like, well, who's going to give him a lot of money if he's on some nigga shit like that? That's nigga shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
I'm like, come on, man. If you want Oprah to go ahead and contribute to your cause, stop the nigga shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's an excellent example. Oprah doesn't have a damn school certification.
Right.
She doesn't, but Oprah opened up schools in Africa.
Right.
She opened up schools for girls in Africa that live in Africa.
Yeah.
That's practical. That makes sense. The kids live there. She just put a school in the village. No problem there. That's good. But you're talking about taking folks' kids from the United States to Africa. That was retarded to me. And then, like you said, when people ask for a business plan, they didn't ask for, nobody even asked for an accounting. They asked for a business plan. And all they kept saying was that it's coming, and he never showed it. And so when you wouldn't show the business plan, they asked you for an accounting of the money. The business plan is how you're going to spend the money. But if you can't show me how you're going to spend the money, then I want an accounting of what the fuck you collected. And then that's when he started talking about people were reactionary Negroes and all that type of stupid shit, and they were hating on him. Oh, man, ain't nobody hating on you. You sitting up here doing some bootleg, janky shit with people's money, and then you get mad when somebody asks you, when someone has a legitimate criticism, when they're asking you a basic question. And that hasn't even covered all the other shit.
Right.
On the backhand side, again, how you going to get that shit accredited? How are you going to make sure that curriculum that you're teaching those, because I'm going to have the Nuwabians there, I'm going to have the Nation of Islam there. Ain't no school finna certify.
Right.
No school with the Nuwabians, and I think the Nation of Islam has Muhammad University or whatever. So they got accreditation somehow. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. So the question becomes, and I'm sure that they had to go through diplomatic channels to do what they did, but you haven't explained any of that to anybody. And I know he's going to say, well, I can't sit here and tell my battle plans because the crackers are going to... All right, nigga. All right. But again, if you're not going to explain, but you want people to give you money, you see, it would make sense if Louis Farrakhan asked for money from Muhammad University. There is a Muhammad University.
Yeah.
You can actually see the kids in school.
Right.
Their curriculum has actually been approved. Okay? It's actually been recognized, or it's going to be recognized, or it is recognized by the state. But if you're sitting up here doing all this shit, and then you talking about you want it to be private, you don't want the state to contribute. So I'm paying for what? What am I paying you for? If I'm a parent, what am I paying you for? If the state's not going to be involved, who's going to recognize your accreditation for those kids in school?
He running around cracking this, cracking that, cracking. Hey, look, man, at some point, you're going to have some interaction with white folks, man. At some point to make this shake, man, you're going to have some interaction with the crackers. And you ain't doing your...
The crackers are in his business now. Who the fuck you think the state board is? That's who's fucking with you now. The crackers. That's who's finna take your license. The crackers. That's who you were given the authority to practice under the authority of an authorized licensed psychologist. The crackers, their rules, is their certification. You're not gonna escape that. We do not live on a black planet. Public Enemy had that album, remember Fear of a Black Planet?
Yeah.
We don't have a black planet. We don't have a planet where everybody's black. We don't live in black world. Remember, living color, it is time for black world. Man. We don't live there now. And the people that hold the certifications are white people. Period.
Man.
So if you don't have a plan to show how they will recognize what you're teaching these children that you're asking their parents to pay for.
Nigga shit. It's fucking nigga shit. Yeah, like I said, I think he's deliberately, doing that, man, for his followers so he can have an excuse as to why he can't get to school, man. The crackers are stopping me. He every step of the way, he trying to drum up. I think he trying to drum up as much opposition as he can because he know he ain't got that money. He know he ain't got that money, man.
Being able to do what he said he did. That's a smoke screen.
Uh-huh.
So he turned around and said, well, I was going to do it, but some reactionary Negroes and coons, went to the white man and stopped me from doing it.
Yep, that's what's happening right now. It's in my gut. My gut is never wrong, son. Like I said, I'm not I'm not an academic. I don't know shit about licenses and degrees and whatever, but
you don't have to be an academic to recognize nigga shit. All you have to have is a PhD in niggatry.
Oh, and I got that. Oh.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, she had, I think, a 4th or 5th degree education. Mm-hmm. And she said, I have a PhD in niggers, baby. And I can tell you what we're going to do tomorrow.
Man, shit. So
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't have to, that's basic common sense. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have an understanding to know somebody going to have to recognize this shit. And it don't take a rocket scientist to see that if you're inflammatory,
right,
you better have a way. And we're not saying that he has, because I know some niggas are going to say that. Hey, you asking him to kiss the white man's ass. No, we're not. If you don't have the means to obtain approval from white people, if you don't have the means to be completely independent, Boyce Watkins is completely independent. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Yeah.
Louis Farrakhan is completely independent. Okay. So they can tell white folks to go to hell because white folks don't put no bread on their table, don't put no money in their pocket.
Okay.
Those people are truly free. They can cuss the white man out all day long because they don't depend on him to keep their lights on. But you, on the other hand, you need their accreditation for your school to be recognized.
Right.
You can't do that.
So what, Nation of Islam didn't have to get an accreditation from the white man for that Muhammad University?
Yeah, they got accreditation for it. I don't know how the fuck they did it, but they got it.
Oh, okay.
They got it. I don't know how they did it, but they got it. And they have teachers there. They have teachers. They teach, the same thing, that math, reading, English, geometry. They also teach history. It's a religious institution is what it is. I suspect that's how they got it by.
Okay.
Because it's a religious school.
All right.
So they were able to take advantage in that factor. That's how I believe they were able to pull it off, because they're arguing that Islam is their religion. Just because you don't like it, under the First Amendment, they still have a right to it, and they have a right to set up a school to teach their children their religion. Mm-hmm. But your school is not religious.
Right.
This school ain't religious. You're not claiming any religious affiliation. You're not claiming anything.
This is the funny. Go ahead.
What will you use? How will you get the cracker to recognize your curriculum as author? How will you get them to authorize your curriculum?
No, what's funny to me, man, it's like, when he so-called had this victory at the hearing, and, all these cult-minded ass niggas, man, they like, see, we told y'all he was innocent, he this. And I'm like, man, these niggas thirsty for a victory. They've been taking L's so much for the past 3 years with Umar. But they finally got something that even looked like, he had a victory, man. They jumped on that shit quick, son. They like, see, we told y'all niggas, y'all need to apologize. Niggas
will create a victory where one does not exist. The only thing that was an administrative hearing to determine whether or not he was, in fact, doing what they said he did. There was no decision. And again, I'm going to clarify that. They were just there to find out the facts of the case. And based upon what he said, then that magistrate makes the recommendation to the state board. So nothing was going to happen at that hearing anyway. He's back where he started on accusations. Is it a weak case again? It's weak as fuck.
Super weak.
This nigga's doing 20 years. Linnell Jeter and Geronimo and Hurricane, all of them niggas did 20 years in prison on weak-ass evidence. And some people are going to say, well, that's civil. I know some niggas, some smart-mouth niggas say, well, that's different. This is a civil hearing. You're correct. So in a civil hearing, the burden of proof is even lower. In criminal court, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. In administrative hearing, it's about the preponderance of the evidence. The burden is even lower in a civil proceeding than it is in a criminal proceeding. So just because the evidence is weak, that doesn't necessarily mean that you got a victory in your favor. Matter of fact, he didn't even get a judgment. He said that when he stepped outside the courtroom, that the decision has to be submitted to the board.
Right.
So all them niggas knew, oh, well, they didn't take his license. They didn't take his black power. Black power. Black power.
But
they didn't take his license. Black power.
He admitted he had no license, though. Shit. He had no license. Shit. Unless, you will talk about him practicing under a school, which I haven't even heard the name of this school he practicing under. And what kind of a school let you just, jet set all across the world, on infinite vacation? It's like, damn, ain't he supposed to be working at a school? It's like, this nigga, he in Japan, he in Jamaica.
He doesn't have to be, he could be doing something equivalent to residency. But even then, you would have to be at the hospital. But because he's a psychologist, it would be a bit different. Because again, he could be freelance. He just has to be under someone else's supervision. So he can, fly out here like a kite, but he has to have straight. Somebody has to be, okay, well, what are you doing here?
And who is that person?
What the fuck going on here? What are you doing? And you notice that person wasn't there.
Right. Exactly.
And what I saw at the hearing, that person wasn't there. So if he's practicing under the supervision of another person, now they're going to have to go to that other person and say, well, were you watching him?
Right.
That person is going to have to turn over, a law basically. Okay, where are you with this guy? Where is he in terms of, because that's how that works. If you're under someone's supervision until you are able to obtain a license independently on your own, there are usually certain standards and criteria and certain things that you have to pass before you're even qualified to go before the board and be approved. Okay? So now the question is where is he in that process?
Right.
Where is he in that process of being an independent psychologist without the supervision of another person? We don't know what that is either.
I know. He's been vague and funny style about that.
He came out of that hearing with more questions than answers. So I don't understand what the niggas was jumping. I do understand what the niggas was jumping up and down. The niggas are simple.
Simple-minded, man. Hey, check this out, man. Look, we got to go ahead and let cats know, man. This is Mac City, man. We swings on no nuts over here, man. Just like when we did the past show where we was talking about how Tariq grilled that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Some cats would be like, oh, man, well, what about Tariq? Well, what about the... Look, check our record, man. We done grilled Tariq 100 times on this podcast, man. It's like you got the Tariq nut huggers, and then you got the Umar nut huggers, and then in the middle you got the real deal. You got Mac City, son. You know what I mean? We calls out the bullshit, man. No matter who's doing it, no matter where we find it. You know what I mean? Whether it's Tariq or whether it's Umar, man. So y'all can stop trying to throw the next nigga in our face just because we grilling.
If anybody asking questions,
you say what?
You need to get away from us.
What'd you say? Hello? Hello? Yeah, what did you say? Hello?
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, Lord have mercy. I can hear you now.
Okay. If you're afraid of us asking questions, you need to get the fuck away from us. Because we ask questions. If you're afraid of anything that is going to make you think, leave.
Bounce. Bounce, nigga. Shit. Hey, check it.
We don't want you. We don't need you.
Man.
If you are afraid of somebody asking questions, beat it.
But what about Tariq? What about him? Shit, man. The subject right here is Umar practicing skullduggery with this money in his school. That's the topic, man. God damn.
That's the issue. That keep your eye on the prize. Now, you notice that the hearing too. You know he pushed it back another year, right?
Of course, you keep pushing it back. You keep pushing it back. I'm like, man, these niggas is idiots, man.
Pushed it back 2019. It's coming in 2019. Okay. All right.
You know, and look, we not stupid. We know it's going to take time to actually get a school together. We know that. You know, it's going to take time to get the money and get the process going. But the problem is he ain't even started the process. He hasn't even started. He ain't put one foot in front of the other as far as the process with, you know, all the paperwork and all that kind of shit to get the process going with the school, man. Shit, he collected the money, but he never goddamn started the process, the official process with the paperwork to get the schools popping, man.
Let's keep it in perspective, because initially when he started the money, it was to buy that St. Paul school.
Right.
That was the first thing, and he said he needed $2 million. Then he came back and dropped it and said if he could get $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get $2 million. He didn't get $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he didn't get any of it. So what's plan? Now that you can't get St. Paul. What's the backup?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the backup now is I'm thinking about opening a school in Africa. Excuse me? You thinking about what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where's the school in Africa? Okay, I'm gonna roll with you. I ain't got shit else to do. Okay, where's the school in Africa? Where? Ghana? Nigeria? Where?
I don't know.
He didn't even point to a place in Africa.
Right.
He didn't even point to, and if it's a city, where's the school located? Okay, and what do you have to do to get that school in Africa? Where's that? Oh, no, okay, you ain't gonna do that either. Okay. PayPal fucking with you now, and then I'm just, okay, GoFundMe fucking with you. Dog, where's this money?
The crackers got it. The crackers got it, family.
You know, if PayPal or GoFundMe, which they do take out fees for donations and services, yes, that's true. They do, take out their money with every donation. We get that. Okay, dog, what's up with this money? Dog, do you have a school in mind? Fuck it, have you talked to a real estate agent about the school?
Nope.
Fuck it, did you pick up a real estate pamphlet and see a school? Fuck it, can you give me the name of a school right now?
Hey, what did Vector mean by, because we talked about the schools up in Detroit, and I was like 79 of them, and Vector said those schools wouldn't, what did he say?
They weren't in his vision.
Yeah, they weren't in his vision. What does he mean by that? Well, why are those?
What he's saying is, he came in on the second leg of Umar's plan.
Okay.
That was when he was his vision was, and the reason he's saying the schools don't work is because the schools don't have the campus that Umar wants. Because remember now, he wanted the kids to live on the campus.
Okay.
Most schools in Michigan, they just regular, basic-ass schools that you go to, neighborhood schools,
no campus.
or community schools. There's no place for those kids to stay.
Okay,
That's why he said it didn't fit in his vision, because Umar wanted to literally raise those children on that campus.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right.
That's why he said it didn't fit. But that wasn't my point at all. I'm saying this. He couldn't carry out his vision. Mm-hmm. He didn't get the school that had the campus. He lost St. Paul. Mm-hmm. So he don't have a way to have the kids live on campus. And he don't have, or he never pointed to, a specific location in Africa. He never, to my knowledge, identified a school with a campus in Africa where he was going to transport all of these kids from America to Africa.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So even that shit don't work. So even if you want to say, well, he's transporting them from here to there, then you have to explain to me, where is this school in Africa? Okay? And how do you expect black people in America
I wish this audio was better. God damn it, man.
Huh?
Said I wish this audio was better. You coming in real muffled, man. Fuck.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Just keep going, man. I don't think we're gonna be able to fix it. Go ahead.
Okay. The question is how do you get black to the poor sector? You taking kids from the hood.
Right.
How you expect for their mothers and fathers to fund a school that is in Africa? Now, I'm sure he may have an answer for that, but Umar never answered that question.
You don't answer
He's talking about Africa, but he never answered that question.
Right.
So you're talking about it's not his original vision. His original vision is not practical. That's my point.
Okay.
His original vision is not practical. Why? Because he didn't get the school he wanted. He didn't get St. Paul, so he doesn't have a place for them anyway. And he didn't identify any place in Africa where he could do that. And he didn't identify how he would make something like that work in Africa. So fuck his vision.
God damn. Hell no, man. Shit. So you're not gonna...
Any motherfucker can have a dream, but you're going to have to wake up and find a way to make it happen. He don't have a way to make it happen, or if he does, he has never disclosed it. Because I suspect the reality is he can't make it happen. I don't give a fuck about his vision if he don't have a way to execute it.
Hell no.
So he needs to take one of them 79 schools in Detroit.
And build on that shit.
Yes.
God damn.
Yes. I mean, it's not, to me, it's not complicated. It's nothing to discuss.
Man.
He don't have a way to do the shit that he want to do. So what's your backup plan? That's my point.
Right. So you mean to tell me...
While you talking about this shit, where's that motherfucking money?
Because they did close down the GoFundMe, right?
I think that, I'm not for sure. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
I know that was an issue. GoFundMe sent a request to him for some financial information. And this is what he said now in his video. They sent a request to him for some financial information. And he said, well, I've already given you that. So what does that mean? You're not going to comply with it? Are you saying you've already given it to him, so you're not going to answer him anymore? I'm confused. I don't know what you're saying.
Right. Because I know they did shut down that PayPal, and that I think it was like $200,000 that was in that PayPal, and that money just disappeared. You know, he ain't really expounded on what happened with that money. I'm like, what?
He said that he had to pay some fees on it or like that, but what people see should be your balance.
Exactly.
What's left is after they take the money. Because I have a PayPal account to sell my chess supply.
Right.
At powerstrategy.com. Cheap ass plug, I know. PayPal gives you a balance of what's left after they extract their fees.
Yeah.
So what he should be looking at is what he should have access to should he, deposit that money in a bank.
Shit, man. I don't think the scuttlebutt is he don't want to put his money in a bank because he owes back taxes.
So the money just gonna sit on PayPal forever?
Shit, well, I think that PayPal is closed down. That's the thing, man. I think that PayPal is gone.
You're usually supposed to link it to an account, some type of account. If you're going to use one of these online sources like PayPal or Stripe, you usually have to link it to a bank account. So if you, and that's even more bizarre because it should never even be linked to his bank. See, the more you talk, the more this shit is coming out, okay? Because if that school is set up the correct way it should be set up, that shit shouldn't be linked to his personal bank account anyway.
Right.
That's not how you collect money.
Right.
He's supposed to have formed a corporation or an LLC, and they have their own independent bank account, and it would be beyond the reach of tax collectors.
Okay.
Because it belongs to the business, not him. So my question is, where is the paperwork for FDMG? Where's the corporate paperwork? Where's the state paperwork for FDMG? Where's that at?
Shit. You's a reactionary Negro, man. You ain't supposed to be asking questions like that.
Yeah, you're stealing money. I'm reactionary as fuck.
You reactionary, man.
Yeah, I'm reactionary as fuck. You don't even see that. You don't even do that shit. If you got a business, if you have a business, you don't put the money for the business in the personal bank account.
Right.
Mm-hmm. If you are afraid of them taking the money for back taxes, that should be a business account attached.
Right.
And they can't take the money from the business. That's why I couldn't understand. And it also making sense because people was asking him if the contributions were tax deductible.
Right.
Well, no, I'm not going to make it tax deductible because some of y'all going to have to suffer. Some of us going to have to suffer and die. For some of our boys, they have a future. No, nigga, you didn't make it tax deductible because if you had made that shit a 501c3, you would be accountable to the IRS.
Shit, because remember, initially he didn't want nobody, even fucking with PayPal. He wanted people to just mail him checks and money orders.
Exactly.
Because you can't even trace that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once he cashed that check, it's a wrap.
Right.
So if they sending him a check, he said make it out to FDMG. That's what he said. He said not to him. So if they making it out to FDMG, that means FDMG must have a bank account somewhere. Mm-hmm. If FDMG has to have a bank account. So and if FDMG has a bank account, then there's no motherfucking reason that he shouldn't be able to convert that money. There's no reason that he shouldn't be able to deposit that money, and he shouldn't have the slightest concern about it being snatched through taxes.
Wow.
Because if they made the checks out to FDMG, that's a separate entity. But the problem is that entity doesn't have 501c3 status. Mm-hmm. So what that will probably trigger is an IRS audit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
See, that's the real bullet in the chamber. That's the real monster. See, when that hits, when the IRS audits him, he can't say no.
Right.
See, that's the real cracker.
That's the real, that's, woo, you don't want to fuck with them, boy. Oh.
That's the real cracker. The IRS is the real cracker. So when they hit and when they audit him, he gonna truly be in some shit indeed. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's why I suspect there's all this dipping and dodging and ducking and slipping and bobbing and weaving. Because if the IRS gets involved, he gonna get shut down anyway.
And also let me add, man, there's a lot of Umarians out here, man, that they say silly shit like, well, if you really want to know what's going on, you just gotta ask Dr. Umar.
Right.
Ask Dr. Umar. Just let him tell you. Shit, hear from the horse's mouth. I'm like, nigga, really? I'm like, nah, man, I want to see receipts, man. I want to see receipts. I want to see the account, the bank account number. I want to see the balance. I want to see this. I want to hear this nigga talking. This nigga, man, come on, man. Yeah, these niggas are slow. They think that all you gotta do is just ask him and he gonna tell you the truth about the situation.
He would never lie to you.
No. Not the man with the fake goons. No.
No. He would never lie to you. He's beyond reproach. He would never lie to you.
All you gotta do is ask Dr. Umar, go to the source. Go. Yeah. I'm like, you idiot.
I'll tell you the truth. He wouldn't lie to you.
Nah, of course not. So let me ask you this, man. We're going to have to wrap this up, man, because, we've rehashed this. And, it's kind of like beating a dead horse. But, we're going to keep on plugging away at this, man. As new developments happen, we're going to get on here and we're going to spit, man. But, so, do you think you owe the Umarians an apology, you know what I mean, because he was so-called vindicated at the hearing?
I don't owe them retarded ass nigga shit.
Come on, man.
Shit. I don't owe them retarded ass nigga shit, and he wasn't vindicated because that wasn't a real trial. That was just a hearing to determine what the facts were. They couldn't do anything at that motherfucking hearing. And if you're too stupid to understand that, go out, knock off a 7-Eleven and give to FDMG.
Give to FDMG.
You go steal some money and give it to him. If you're that stupid, go knock off a corner store and give it to him.
I can hear motherfuckers unsubscribing now. Click, click. Niggas unsubscribing. Man, y'all tearing the black man down. Shit. Hey, man, so you don't think we should take our podcast down? You think?
Man, nah. In other words, what I'm saying, fuck it, see if you can open up 3 or 4 more channels and put that shit up there. Share that shit on Facebook, Periscope, Instagram, Twitter, any place you can get that shit, put it up there. This is called accountability. This is called, we didn't call for this nigga to be killed. We ain't calling for him to go to jail.
Right.
We're not calling for that bad to happen to him. We just saying, what's going on, dog? What's the deal? What's the deal? You laid out all this grand shit to happen. You see what I'm saying? In the civil rights movement, when they planned the campaign,
right,
they had that shit planned down to the letter. It was like military precision. They knew how many blocks they had to hit. They knew the distance they knew the perimeter of their campaign. They knew the counties. They knew the neighborhoods that they were going to protest in. They had everything down to the letter as far as what they were doing with people's donations. They had it down to the letter how much money they would need for bail, how much money they would need for an attorney, how much money they would need to feed people, how much money they would need for travel and lodging, how much money they would need to, get any place that they were demonstrating in cleaned up. They had all the logistics down to a T. So you didn't have to ask anything. They had an accountant. There was an accountant. They had, and you know why they had an accountant? Because the accountant turned their public records over to the FBI.
Okay.
So they had an accountant on the case. That's why you could never prove that. That's why the charge of them misappropriating money, that never came up. That never happened. They never argued or they never made the charge that they misappropriated money because they had that money accounted for down to the letter. So the question is, you raising this money for these grand ambitions. 1, where's the business plan? 2, how you plan to make this work? And 3, it ain't. You haven't shown any progress in 4 years, so where the fuck is the money?
Well, now, boy, the reactionary Negroes strike again, sopping up the syrup with the butter biscuits, with the pork sausages.
Yeah, we go swine. Yeah, we go swine.
With the pork
5% of niggas, yeah, we go swine. We gonna need some bacon.
With the orange juice on the side, son.
The orange juice, absolutely.
Oh, my God. Tearing a brother down. You should be ashamed of yourself. But once again, we stress.
Knock off a 7-Eleven and give it to him.
Yeah, once again, we stress, man, that whole credential argument. That, man, we really don't get 2 shits about that, man. Our focus is the money and the school, man. So you barking up our tree talking about, how he was vindicated after hearing, when we laughing at that shit, because that's not even our focus, number 1.
And that didn't even happen.
So what?
That didn't even happen.
Yeah, I know. But in their mind's eye, it happened. They think he was vindicated.
Because they didn't drag him out of there in cuffs.
Right.
They didn't drag him out of there in cuffs and throw him in prison forever and ever. Amen. He got vindicated. No, he's back where he was before. It's accusations.
Once again, I want to know the name.
To render a decision.
Yeah, once again, I want to know the name of the school, and I want to know the name of the so-called main psychologist he's supposed to be practicing under. That's what I want to know, because I haven't heard anything about this. He's supposed to be, certified school psychologist, but I want to know the school, and I want to know, who's the big cheese that he's supposed to be doing that paperwork, for, man. That's what I want to know. Shit. If anybody knows, put it in the comment section. I do not want to be ignorant of this matter. Shoot. So if you like to go ahead and just go ahead and give your parting thoughts, man.
With powerstrategy.com, maxcitylimits.com. Subscribe to the mailing list on powerstrategy.com. I have my Patreons up, Power of Strategies and powerstrategy.com. I also have added a web page for the cats, for my chess cats, for all y'all cats out there that's, deep into chess like me. I I got a page for chest supplies with digital clocks, the whole nine. My prices include shipping and handling because I drop ship. I drop ship all of my supplies from the warehouse in Utah is drop ship, so it includes shipping and handling, and I deliver all across the United States. Again, subscribe to MacCityLimits.com, subscribe to Power and Strategy, the YouTube channel, and the website. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson for giving me the opportunity to be a columnist at the NegroManosphere.com. And that's it, man. I'm done talking business now.
Shit. Man, shout out to the big homie Vector. Man, that's my nigga, man. Vector, boy. He always make the conversation live, man. That's what I'm talking about. Also give shout out to my other players I ain't, spoke of in a while. My boy Isa Ali. Let me see, Straight Shooter, Strategy. Let me see the Minister of Love. Who else I got? Damn, boy. Been a minute. Oh yeah, Goku's son. I need to man, this because he sent me some emails, man. He sent me some really good emails on the concepts of power trick and some articles and stuff, man, that I think a lot of cats will find interesting. So I'm saving them. I'm gonna save them for a different podcast. But yeah, son of Goku's son. I think that's who's sending me this shit, man. I think that is. Shit. But anyway, yeah, that's this is my shout outs, man, for my players, man. Did you sound like you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to send a shout out to all of my subscribers, the people that have subscribed to me on Patreon, the people that have subscribed to my mailing list, and the people that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I want to thank those people. Your patronage is appreciated. I put up another recent article since then, but my last article was on this, that Dr. Umar shit. It was related to the 48 Laws of Power. Law number 46 never appeared too perfect, so check out my blog, powerandstrategy.com. And again, like I said, I wanted to send a shout out and a thank you to all my subscribers and all the people that have subscribed, not only to the YouTube channel, but to the mailing list.
Oh, yeah. And also, Bam MJ. I almost forgot about my boy Bam. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's what's up, man. Big Mike and Full of Fizz at MacCity.com, powerandstrategy.com, and we out.